Hi, my name is Cubastic and welcome back to my channel. Today, after a little pause, we continue solving incredible puzzles. I saw that you liked these videos. Today I got a really interesting thing. It's probably even harder than previous ones. It's called the Nutcase Puzzle. It's a bolt, but not a usual one, because it's double-sided, so it has two heads. This design makes it impossible to put on a knot, but it already has two of them, which we have to take out. And really, just by looking at this thing, I cannot imagine how to take out a knot from a double-sided bolt. But we'll try to do it today. What else do we see? It says Nutcase on the front, so it's a case locked with nuts, and there could be something inside. And yeah, there is something. Maybe some kind of prize. I have no idea what's inside and what could the authors of this puzzle actually give us as a reward for solving this puzzle, which is one of the hardest puzzles in the world. Yes, it actually is one of the hardest. It has the 10th difficulty rating, which is the highest. You can't really find a lot of puzzles that are harder than this one in the whole world. But I'm sure that I will solve it today. Don't know why I'm so sure. Maybe because you clicked that like button under this video, or if you haven't, you should definitely do it now to help me do this. So we have a bolt, just like a regular one. It also has carving and two nuts. Our task is to disassemble the whole thing. Okay, let me just start up a timer on my phone and we'll see how long it's gonna take me. So I press start and begin to solve. By the way, you can write your guesses on how long it's gonna take me in the comments. So let's go. Well, the first thing that is on my mind is just to turn these nuts one way and another to see how the puzzle works. Like any other puzzle, this one has its secret as well, and we're gonna find it today. The shape of this puzzle is very unusual, and you know, when I turn the knot, I can feel it move a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. Look closely. The knot isn't sitting there very tight. It's pretty loose. So maybe it's a path to the solution. Let's see the other knot. Here we have the same thing. It moves a bit. I'm curious if it's gonna sit tighter when I move it. Wait, it's stuck here. Okay, I get it. The secret is in the nuts. But not only there. I noticed one more thing. When you take the puzzle like this, holding the bolt's heads and try to turn it in different directions, it moves a bit as well. And this is where it's happening. Look closer. You see? It tears apart right there, and if I turn it, the tiny crack appears. Here, here, and here. The bolt tears apart in a few places, so we need to consider it while figuring out the solution. Okay, let me just try to move the nuts to different sides. Well, it moves even more here. I think I get the concept of this puzzle. This bolt consists of a cylinder, I think, that has a carving on the front side. So each part of the bolt, they are connected like that. Imagine this is the right part and this is the left part, and that's how they are connected. And on top of that, the nuts are screwed. So our task is to disconnect them, but the nut is holding the carving. Look how loose this nut is. It should be important. Oh, I think I got it. Look, if I move the nut left and right, it moves a little bit, but if I move it up and down, it moves a lot more. You know, I have a feeling I'm thinking in right direction, but I still have no progress. You know, I've got a theory, and here we'll just have to guess. As always, the secret of a puzzle is hidden inside, in those parts where we can't just see it. And I think the inside of this nut isn't fully carved. It might have a carving on 2 or 3 sides, and it should perfectly hold 3 parts of our bolt. So we need to find a perfect position for both nuts, so these parts wouldn't touch the carving at all. And it's gonna be hard. Let's just try to find this perfect position. maybe using the gravity, so we could see the bolt move if we find it. Well, I actually thought it was gonna be much easier when I just started. It's been almost 10 minutes and I still have no progress. By watching how tight is the whole thing, I try to understand which way I should be turning both nuts. It's really hard to describe. I don't even know on what level of senses my body should be working to solve this puzzle, but that's why it's the hardest. Believe me, it's really hard. I'm really confused, and the best way I came up with is to slightly move the nuts and turn the bolt in different directions. Look, I make really tiny movements and the nut is more and more loose. Look what happens when I try to pull the bolt in different directions. I pulled this part right and only one nut is moving with it. So I need to hold it in this position and try to turn the left nut to put it in the same position. It's been 20 minutes, even 21 minutes. Still nothing happened. Now I understand why it's one of the hardest puzzles in the world. I guess you're sitting there, drinking your tea, watching this video, waiting for me to solve it. Probably skipping some parts. Don't skip anything, the whole process is important here. You've been watching this video considering you skipped some parts for like a minute or two, right? And I've been sitting here for 50 minutes and 34 of them solving this puzzle. So let's be fair, leave a like for my effort. Oh, now it's even more loose. Okay, let me try another one. Come on. I feel like I'm almost there. Oh, look at that. So using the gravity was the right decision. Okay. Look how loose it is. Now I understand that only one nut is positioned correctly, this one. And this one still needs to be moved. We actually are pretty close now, and that's in 1 hour. Yes, here it is. The correct position for both nuts. Just as I thought, it consists of 2 parts. Here it is. So the carving isn't in our way now, and we only need to screw this nut. And that's it. Yes! The puzzle is solved! And inside is... Are you serious? That's what was inside? That is why it's called a nutcase. Not because the case was locked with nuts, but because it is a case for a little nut. But this is a terribly complicated puzzle. So it took me more than 1 hour to solve it. Let's see a bit closer what it looks like. Our double-sided bolt looks whole until we open it. Then we see that it consists of 2 parts, just like I thought. And as for the nuts, the carving isn't everywhere. Here it has the carving and here there is none. So we need to find one position when the nut carving wouldn't touch the bolt carving. And it's the only position when the bolt is free to move. I hope you understand the difficulty of this puzzle, and I really hope that you liked watching me solve it. So leave a like if you enjoyed. Also, please write something positive in the comments. I read all of them, and it will also really help me to move this video to YouTube recommend page so more people could find my channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss my new video. As always, I'm Cubastic. Take care.